friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today I am taking a small Christmas break, so I thought I would put together a compilation video of some of my favorite winter DIYs. We are getting into that winter season, so I thought I'd put together a video for you, especially for those of you who are new and may have never seen these, and then those of you who are not new, who might have enjoyed them the first time and will get to enjoy them a second time. But before we get on with the video, I just want to welcome you. If you are new, my name is Brenda. This is my Oliver, and if you enjoy home decor on a budget, make sure you hit that red subscribe button before you go. Help me reach my benchmark of 25,000. I'm getting really close. And then if you're returning, well, you guys, I just appreciate you all so very much. So with all of that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, here is DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I start out with something I printed for my Cricut. These wood skates and this tag, all from Dollar Tree. So I start off by scraping off all of the glitter that was on the front of this sign. Now I'm not going to use the front, I am going to use the back, but I like to get all the glitter off. Otherwise, when I'm working with this, I'm getting glitter everywhere. So once I had all the glitter off and cleaned up, I took my Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, and I am just giving that back side a really good thorough coat. And then after that is done and dried, then I'm going to take that decal that I made off of my Cricut, and I am just placing it up on top, and it says skating in a winter wonderland. And I kind of struggled. I put this really fast because it took me a while to get that off of there, or on it, I guess I should say. Then after that, I used my heat gun to loosen the glue for that snowflake that was on the skate, and I got it off, and then I'm just painting the cuff of that skate black or ink, and then the sole of the skate I'm painting with that ink color as well. And then after that, I took Waverly chalk paint in the color Silver Lining and painted the skate part. Then I took my Crocodile, and I'm just going to punch a hole through each one of those little dots for the laces. I thought this would be very pretty to do. So then after that, I took my Waverly chalk paint in the color white, and I painted the boot of that skate as well as the snowflake that was on it. So then I'm taking this ribbon. Now I got this ribbon years and years ago at a craft store back in Oregon when we lived there. And I am just using it. I folded it in half, and I am just weaving it in and out of those holes so that way it can be the lace on that skate. And then after I get it all laced up, I'm just looking there, making sure that it is lined up correctly with the edges there. And then once I got that all done, I took some of that, well, I trimmed it, I guess. Then I'm going to hot glue those little pieces down just to help keep that lace from moving around. I don't think it would have moved around, but I just figured it's better to secure it down, and then you know it's not going to move. And then after that, I took some more of that ribbon, and I'm just making a little bow, just like you see there. And once I get it all done fluffed, I'm going to hot glue that on at the top of the laces. If you're new here, I just want to say welcome. I am so happy you're here. If you like home decor on a budget, if you like thrift flips, holiday decor, gift ideas, and an occasional Dollar Tree haul, I really hope you would hit that subscribe button, become part of our family. I would really like to reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm only a little over 900 away. So yeah, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, become part of our family, and then hit the notification bell so that way YouTube will notify you whenever I upload a video. So after I get this hot glued on, I am going to take that star, and I am putting on its folk art metallic silver glitter paint. And I had realized that I had painted it white and you weren't going to be able to see it very well against that white boot. So that's why I decided to add that silver glitter paint on it. And I really love the way it came out. And then I took some more of those. That's what it looks like there. I took some little wooden snowflakes that I got from Dollar Tree, and I painted them with the silver lining paint, and then I covered them with that glitter paint as well. So here I'm just hot gluing that skate on. I'm putting that little snowflake that originally was on the skate back on it, and then I'm just adding a few of those snowflakes on the board there. And after I get those hot glued, I think I'm just going to be putting on the hanger. There we go. Yep, I'm using the same ribbon that I used for the skate, and I am just going to put it through the hole, tie a knot on the end, and then I have a hanger. And that's all there was for this one. And I think it came out so cute. My colors for winter this year is just going to be a pretty simple black and white with some silver in it. Oh yeah, you can, if you want, you can cover the back to make it look finished. And there it is. I just love it. I did add another little snowflake on the boot where the hanger was, the hole was there, just to cover that up. But I think it came out looking really cute. You have to let me know what you think about it in the comments. Number 3. So for this DIY, I used one of these houses from Dollar Tree, one of these candlesticks from Dollar Tree, this reindeer from Dollar Tree, and this scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby. So I started out, I tried to take the back out of this house, but it is stuck on there good. I couldn't get it out. Maybe if you know a trick to getting out, let me know. But I just decided, okay, well, I'm just going to paint it. So I painted the sides and the inside, most of the inside white, or all of this, whatever. Just like you see there, I painted most of it white. Then I am trimming it down and cutting it out, that paper. And then I'm going to use my glue stick. I'm just rubbing it all around on the inside of that house. And then I'm going to lay my paper right inside. Now I made sure when I painted that I got some of the bottom part where the paper is going to cover, just in case. My cutting is not always straight, so I thought, just in case it's not straight and you see through it, then you just see white. Then I took a black marker. This is a paint marker, and I am just going over the edge of that house with that black. I just felt like it was too white and needed something to kind of break down the white color. Then I used some hot glue on this reindeer, and I'm just gluing him in place inside of this little house. And then after that, I took that candlestick and I painted it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color white. I gave it about, I think it was 1 full coat. I don't even think I did 2. And then after it was dry, I took my E6000 there, and I am just putting it all around the top of that candlestick. And then I kind of dripped a little bit, so I had to wipe it off. And then I'm just going to place that house on top of it, and I let that set for about 24 hours to make sure that that glue really sets in. But before I did that, I used this little bow I got from Dollar Tree at Christmas time, and I am just hot gluing that right there on the bottom of that house. Then the next day, I took some Mod Podge, and I am just brushing it on the top of that house as well as the edge of the top part of that house. And then I am just sprinkling on some glitter. Yes, I know, glitter, but I just felt like it needed something more. And I really think that this just gave it that finishing touch it needed. So here I'm just kind of helping it get along everywhere. And then I'm just putting it up along the top edge there, as you see, wiping it on, trying to get it all onto that Mod Podge. And then after I get this all on, I'm going to take some more Mod Podge and I'm going to brush it inside of that house. And I'm going to take some batting that you would stuff pillows with, and I am just going to put it all around the bottom part of the deer or the reindeer to make it look like he was standing in snow. So you have to let me know what you think about this one, and let me know in the comment box which one was your favorite. I think the sign is my favorite, but I don't know, that vase is a close second. And if you like this video, make sure DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I started out with this contact paper from Dollar Tree, these letters from Walmart, this rose I came from Hobby Lobby, and then this picture frame from Dollar Tree. So I just start off with taking my frame apart, and then I'm going to lay this glass piece onto the back of that paper. Now, I love this paper. I don't know about you guys, but I think this paper is just beautiful. So the nice thing about this contact paper is it does have the grid marks on the back, so you can line up the frame along those lines and get an even cut. Because if you're anything like me, I can't cut straight for anything. So this is perfect for me. So after I get this all trimmed up to fit that frame, I took the backing off, and I am just going to stick it on and then very gently peel away the back while I'm rubbing out the bubbles. Now, you want to be really careful with the Dollar Tree glass. It is really thin and it can break very easily. I've broken a few of them in this past year. So just be very careful and don't press on it too hard. So once I had all the bubbles out, I decided to go ahead and put it back in the frame, and as you see there, I forgot to put the back on there, so I had to open it back up and stick that back in there. And then I just wanted to make sure that the roses were facing upward and not downward, so then I'm just going to put the backing back on, and then I'm going to take those 2 letters that I got from Walmart, and I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, and I'm going to give both of those letters a good coating of that. And then once it was dry, right there, I'm just kind of placing it, trying to see where I want them. I'm going to hot glue them right on to that picture frame, just like you see me doing there. And then after that, I'm going to, once I have them all lined up, and that's the other thing, guys. I'll think something is even, and when I get done, it's not. It drives me nuts. So after that, I'm going to take that rose that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I was going to use just that rose in the middle of the sign, but I realized that it just didn't look right. So I decided to grab a couple more. So I grabbed a couple more off the bush of roses that I had, and I thought that looked much, much better. So then I just hot glue those in place, just like you see there. And then once they were all hot glued, I took my Folk Art silver glitter paint, and I am just going to brush them. I was originally going to just brush them along the edge because I wanted to have kind of a glistening snow look on them. But I just still felt like the flowers were too white, so I went ahead and just kind of brushed it all around lightly, all around the roses, just to kind of give it that glittery snow look. Then I took my white puff paint, and I wanted to have it look like snow on the letters because this is going to be part of my winter decor. And, you know, you just got to have some snow on it, right? If you are enjoying today's video, and if you like home decor on a budget, as well as holiday decor, thrift flips, gift ideas, and an occasional haul, then I would invite you to hit that subscribe button and become part of our family. I would love to have you join. And then make sure you comment. Let me know you're new here, and hit that like button. And make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when I'm uploading a video. It's usually on Wednesdays, but if I'm participating in a challenge, it could be on a different day as well. So after I had that all done, I took these table scatter that I got from Walmart. I love this stuff. And I took the pine cones and some of the greenery from it, and I'm just hot gluing them all around the corners of this sign. And that's all there was to this one. It has its own hanger in the back, but if you wanted to add ribbon for a hanger, you could. And there it is. And I just love it. I think it's so pretty. I love the roses on there. And I absolutely love that paper. You have to let me know what you think about this one in the comment box below. Okay, here is DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I started out with 2 of these signs that I got from Dollar Tree, as well as a decal that I printed or created on my Cricut MySpace or Cricut Design Space, my Waverly chalk paint in the color white, and this folk art silver glitter paint. So of course I start off by taking the hangers off of both of those signs, and then I realized I still had a lot of glitter on my table from the previous video. So I'm trying to clean it all off, and then I'm just laying it out here, and I am going to use a couple of these jumbo craft sticks and some 5-gallon stir sticks that I had that had been cut previously. I ran out of the jumbo craft sticks, so I decided to use those to attach on the back of the sign to make those signs come together. And so once I had that all done, I painted it all with my white chalk paint. And once that was dry, I took my silver glittery paint, and I'm like doing distressing brush strokes. I wanted it to just have that silvery, sparkly look to it. And I love the way it came out because it just makes it kind of look like there's ice on the picture, which is kind of what I was going for. Then I took my chippy brush and I just went along and just brushed over the edges like you see there all the way around that picture or those pictures. Once I was done, I used my silver metallic paint marker that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I am just outlining the snowflakes on the top there, which probably didn't really need to be done because you don't see those snowflakes very well at the end. But you'll see that in a little bit. Then I took my decal and I am laying it on to my picture there, and it says silver white winters that melt into spring. And that's kind of why I wanted those silver streaks, because I just thought that that would just look really good with that saying. So once I get this all on, and I have this sped way up, guys. I always seem to have problems with those. I took 3 of these wood snowflakes and some of these little snowflakes from, the little ones are from Hobby Lobby, the bigger ones from Dollar Tree. I did put some spackling into the ornament hole on those bigger ones, but then I painted all of them black, and then I gave them a good coating of the glitter, silver glitter paint there. And then once they were all dry, I just laid them out where I wanted them on the sign, and I'm just going to hot glue them in place. And once I get them all hot glued, I took this ribbon I got from Amazon, and I'll have it in my Amazon store. You can find the link for it in my link tree. And I'm just making the Brenda bow. I'm making the awareness sign and then scrunching up in the middle. But this is really thick ribbon, and it's kind of stiff. So I was having a little hard time there getting it to scrunch and to look right. But when I finally got it, I trim it off, and I get no, I don't get a twist tie. I get some jute string. And I'm just going to use that to tie in the middle of my bow. So I just tie it really tighten as much as I could, and then tie a knot in the back. And I was just wanting to kind of fluff it, make sure it was all going to look okay once I got that tied in. So then I just trim off the back, and I'm going to dovetail the ends and fluff my bow. And then after that, I'm going to hot glue it to the board, and that is really all there was left for this DIY. I think it came out so pretty. My winter colors are black and white and silver, and I love it. Oh, I did take a couple more of those snowflakes and painted them and added them to cover the holes for the where the hangers were. So there they are. You have to let me know what you think about this. If you like it, if you think you'll recreate it. Yeah, just let me know what you think about it in the comment box below. So here is DIY number 3. You guys, I love this DIY. So I started out with this muffler from Dollar Tree, these 2 candles from Dollar Tree, this bag of decorative scatter from Walmart, some jute twine, and some of this fern pick from Dollar Tree. So I started off by cutting where the seam of this faux fur muffler was, and I'm just going to cut this in half. Now it's a double lined, as you can see there. I was kind of looking at it, and when you cut it, of course, you know, you're going to have faux fur everywhere. But I measured how much I was going to need, and I am just trimming it down here. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to wrap it around this candle. This is so simple, you guys. And I just love the way this turns out. And then I put some hot glue on my glass, and I'm just going to wrap that muffler around it. And then I just kind of glue the 2 pieces together like you see there. And then I don't know what was going on with my glue gun. It wouldn't stand up. And then my candle fell over. It was crazy. Anyway, so then I did the same with the other part. Folded it in half so it had a good seam there, and then hot glued that. Then I did that to both, but then I just took some of this jute rope that I got from Walmart, and I'm just wrapping it around. I think I wrapped it around probably 4 or 5 times. And then you'll see here I tie it in a bow, but I am going to change that out and tie it in a knot and a little bit. But then I'm just going to add some of the greenery picks to it, a pine cone, and I'm going to make a little shoestring bow with my my black check ribbon. There it is. And put that in the middle. And I love this. You guys, these would make great gifts. If you're looking for a last minute gift, you could use, if you can't find the muffler, you could use the mop heads. The white mop heads. You could use a sweater. A sweater would be really pretty, like if you cut up an old sweater. There's all kinds of things that you could use for this, but I absolutely love this. I think this is actually my favorite of all of these things. If you are enjoying today's video today and you like home decor on a budget, as well as holiday decor, thrift flips, and occasional Dollar Tree haul, oh my goodness, and gift ideas, then hit that subscribe button, become part of our family. I would love to have you join, and hit that notification bell so you are notified whenever I upload a new video, which usually is on Wednesdays. Unless I'm participating in a challenge, then I may have other videos as well. And if you like this video, make sure you give me that thumbs up and comment. That really helps my channel grow by letting YouTube know that you like my content, and then they will push it out there a little bit more for others to see and enjoy. So here I'm just adding the little greenery picks that came in that bag from Walmart, the table scatter stuff. And then I am just going to add a pine cone. I'm just tying a knot there to the top part of those little picks. And then I'm going to put the bow right on top. And like I said, you guys, I cannot wait to put these up by my fireplace, the mantle on my fireplace. It's going to be beautiful. I just love it's farmhouse. It's rustic. I'm in love with it. Can I say it too many times? Anyway, it's so simple. And like each one was probably, well, for the 3 of them, it was 1, 2, 3, less than $4. And then I had some of those little wood ornament things there, rounds, and then I just put them on the bottom. I didn't hot glue them or glue them. You could if you wanted to, but I just thought it looked really pretty sitting on one of those. And there they are. I just love them. Oh, I just think they're so pretty. Okay, DIY number 4. So for this DIY, I took some more of this decorative scatter from Walmart. I took some of these pails or buckets from Dollar Tree. these mop heads from Dollar Tree, and 4 of these little mini Christmas trees from Dollar Tree. So I start off by getting them all out of the boxes and taking the bottom piece off of each one. And I'm just going to save all those little pieces because I know I could use them at some point for a DIY. So then I go through and I open each one of them up. Now these trees are very sad. They're very thin. So that's why I'm using 2. I'm taking 2 of them together, and a couple of the branches fell off of one, so I'm using them to tie them together. But you could also use the garland clips that you get from Dollar Tree. You can even get some from Hobby Lobby to just tie them around to keep them together. Then I just go through and I am just fluffing up all the branches. I was kind of bringing them down in a downward motion. And then I put some foam in, floral foam inside my pail, and I stick the tree inside of it and then finish fluffing it. Then I took these little mop head things and I am cutting them down in half, and you can tell where that's split with the fuzz, and I'm just kind of trying to open it up the fuzz so I'm not cutting so much of the fuzziness away, and that way it kind of helps so that you don't have as much of the fuzz laying all around. So once I got it all done, I stuck them all around inside the pails so that it looks like snow on the bottom of that tree. And once I get those all in place, then I'm going to take that decorative scatter. I'm going to take the little white balls and I'm going to just start hot gluing them all around on the branches, as well as some of the pine cones, so that it looks like there's snowballs and pine cones on those branches. And I do that all the way around both trees. Now I do this twice, so really there was 4 trees, but I'm just going to show you the one. So once I got those all on there, then I took my apple barrel snow white paint and a little brush, and I'm just brushing it all along all of the branches. And I'll tell you what, guys, it was flicking paint everywhere. I had it on my forehead. I had it on my shirt, which ruined my shirt that I was wearing. I had it all over the place. So be careful if you recreate this. Be ready to have paint everywhere, because the way I'm brushing it, if you do it that way, you're going to get paint splatters. So then when I was done, I took some black checked ribbon, and I'm just making my bow like I normally do, using a twist tie, and I'm just going to twist that on and then put some jute cord around the middle and twist it, or use the twist tie to wrap around the top of the tree. Now, if you're wondering why I'm not calling it buffalo check, why I keep correcting myself, I did hear someone say that buffalo check is red and black. When it's black and white, it's either gingham or plaid or black check. So that's why I just keep stopping myself from saying or buffalo check. Man, I'm having a hard time talking today. Oh my goodness, you guys, I am sorry. But you know, if you get a laugh from it, then that's great. I'm always happy to give you a laugh. Okay, so once I get done fluffing it here, I think I will dovetail the ends, and then that's when I'm going to add it to the top of the tree. And I think that's all I do, but let's see. Sorry, that wasn't from, oh yeah, I had these snowflakes that I cut out for a previous video, and I ended up not using them. They were just out of some scrapbook paper I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just hot gluing them onto the front of the pails. And that was all there is for this one as well. And there they are. They are so cute, and I think they're going to look very pretty on top of my mantle as well. You'll have to let me know what you think about these, and if you like them, if you'd recreate them, all the good things. And I am so glad you guys joined me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing your comments. I always love responding. Okay, DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I started out with some tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree. I believe I had 12. I created a saying on my Cricut. I used these little snowflakes from Hobby Lobby and some foam board from Dollar Tree. So I start off by hot gluing 4 of these tumbling tower blocks together end to end, as you see there. I'm going to make 2 sets of 4 and 2 sets of 2. So this is going to be the frame for our little plaque. And then once I have this all hot glued together, and once I have all of them hot glued together, I'm going to take the set of 4 and I'm going to hot glue them to the bottom of the 2, just like you see there. Then I'm going to take the other set of 4, hot glue it to the side of the 2 at the top. Then I'm going to take that last set of 2 and I'm going to hot glue it to the ends of both the top and the bottom. And you can do this either way. I originally was planning on hot gluing the ends of the sets of 2 on the inside of the sets of 4, but it works either way. Then I just use that to trace out the foam board. And if you're cutting foam board, you want to make sure you're using a very sharp knife, because then that way you don't get the jagged edges. If your knife is dull, it will leave jagged edges. So then I use that frame as a template again to see where exactly I want to place the wording so that it's not being covered up by the frame at all. And then once I lay that down, I'm going to just push it down in place, peel off my transfer tape. Look how easy that came off. I just loved it. Then I'm going to add the little snowman decal that I got off of Cricut Design Space. Then I'm using my little level there because I can't find my burnishing tool. It's fallen somewhere, and I'm sure once Christmas is over and I clean up my craft room, I will find it. And I'm just going to place that snowman right there next to the words there. And this one went on really easy too. I just loved it. It was so nice. And then after that, I took my Waverly chalk paint and antique wax. It wasn't paint, it was the antique wax. And I'm brushing it all on that frame. And then I'm going to use a paper towel to wipe off the excess. And I do this on both sides, since you'll be able to see both sides on a tier tray. Then after this, I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in the color white and paint 2 of those little snowflakes. If you're new here, I just want to say welcome. I am so happy you stopped by. If you like home decor on a budget, holiday decor, thrift flips, gift ideas, and an occasional Dollar Tree haul, then this is the right channel for you. So hit that subscribe button and become part of our growing YouTube family. I'd love to have you join. And then make sure you give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and comment. Let me know you're new here and what was your favorite DIY today. So once those were all painted, I wanted to put something on the back. So I cut down a piece of scrapbook paper that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I just hot glued that to the back of the sign. That way it's a little more decorative. Then I took some more tumbling tower blocks and hot glued them together and used the antique wax on it. And then I'm just hot gluing it to the back to help it stand more sturdy. Then I took a piece of ribbon and I'm just going to hot glue that to the top just to kind of cover that foam board so you don't really see it. And after that, I took some more of that ribbon, and this ribbon, of course, is from Dollar Tree. And I'm just making a simple little shoestring bow. And once I have it all fluffed and like I want it, then I'm going to trim it off and dovetail the ends. Then I'm going to hot glue it to the corner of the sign there. And I do go in and just put a little dab of hot glue on that frame so that I can hot glue the ribbon down, because I wanted it to lay just across the frame like it is there. Then I took one of those snowflakes and I'm going to hot glue it right in the middle of that bow. I'm going to take the other snowflake and hot glue it to the bottom right hand corner of the sign. And that's all there is for this one. I think it came out looking so cute, and this is going to be great for my winter tier tray. You'll have to let me know what you think about this, and if you think you'll recreate it, let me know in the comment box. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I'm taking this gift bag that I got from Walmart. I got it right before Christmas, and I cut off that tag, and then I'm going to cut out the front part of this bag. Now this bag is two-sided. It has trees on the side as well. I thought about using them, but yeah, my item that I'm putting it on is not big enough, but I'm going to save the rest of that bag for another time because it is still perfect to use for a DIY. The snowflakes are just not shiny, but that's fine with me. So after I had it cut out, I removed the handle from the inside, and then I'm just going to put it in this charger, and I'm going to score it and then cut it down to trim. Now this charger is one that I got this fall at Dollar Tree. It was the most beautiful bronzy gold I have ever seen. I bought a couple of them, but you could definitely use any kind of charger that you might have on hand, or any kind of bag that you might find that you really like if you want to recreate this. It's all a matter of using what you have or what you can find and making it your own. So after I had that cut out, I took my Mod Podge here, and I'm just going to cover the area that I'm going to lay my bag on. Now I did use a little pencil to kind of mark where the top part of my bag was going to lay, so I knew how far up to go. And then I'm just going to lay it in. Now I did kind of add a little extra Mod Podge there because it is thicker than, since the bag, it is a little thicker. And so I'm just going to add a little more Mod Podge to the back of the top part there to make sure that it had plenty. And then I just kind of rubbed it smooth until I made sure it was all on, and I wiped off all that excess that was on the side. And then I took my Mod Podge, excuse me, and I'm going to go over it to protect that bag. It's just an extra coating of protection so that the bag is not easily ripped. And then of course I'm going to leave that to dry, and I did wipe off all that excess that you see along the sides and along the top. Then I took some jute twine, and I'm going to go all the way around my charger, just so it kind of gives it a finished look. I did have some gold cording I was going to do, but for some reason, I don't know what was wrong with me, but I was just going heavy-handed with the hot glue, and that cord is a lot thinner than this jute cord, and so it wasn't looking good. So I pulled it off and decided to just stay with the jute cord here because it is a little more rustic anyways. So then I took some of these pieces. Now the dark greenery pieces came from Amazon, and then no, actually I think they came from Temu. And then the lighter green pieces came from Dollar Tree. I loved these. Whenever I saw them at Dollar Tree, I picked some up because I loved them. They're beautiful. I'm putting them together like you see, and then I'm just taking some floral wire and wrapping it around the middle just to keep them in place, and then twist really tightly. That gives it a more tight finish. And then I left the ends open a little bit because I'm going to make a bow. So I took this beautiful ribbon. I got this at Joann's before Christmas this year. And I'm just making a bow doing the awareness ribbon and scrunching it up in the middle. And then I'm using that wire to just wrap it around to hold it in place. Then I'm going to do I think it's a 4-loop finger bow. I'm trying to go slow here, but I'm getting so good at these that it's hard to go slow. I wrap my fingers 4 times. I take that tail, I wrap it around the middle of my fingers there, come up and go through that wrap that I just made, and then pull really tightly. You want to keep your fingers in when you pull, otherwise it will pull those loops. And then after that, I'm just going to attach that to the front of my bow, and then I'm going to tighten that wire as well. Then after I am done, I'm going to hot glue it. Now I'm going to dovetail the ends of those ribbon tails because you definitely want them to look decorative. If you don't like the dovetail look, you can just leave it as is. I like the dovetail look. And then I'm just going to put some hot glue on the back and hold it in there. It felt like forever. And then I'm just going to add a little jute twine hanger to the back. And we have ourselves a very beautiful little winter woodland sign. Yeah, I really love it. I think that bag was just beautiful. You'll have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Excuse me, guys. I haven't taken my allergy pill yet. Here's DIY number 3. So for this DIY, I'm going to use this. It's supposed to be a 12 by 12 round, or 12-inch round. I guess not 12 by 12, 12-inch round. But when I measured it, it's just under 12 inches. So I took off the hanger, and then I took this nutmeg by Folk Art, and I'm putting it in a plate here, and I'm just going to water it down. Now I was going to use my antique wax for this, but then I remembered that vinyl doesn't really care for the wax, and I'm going to use the Dollar Tree vinyl, which is even worse. And so I thought, well, okay, what else can I do? So I went through all the browns that I had, and I felt like this nutmeg was about the right color of what I was imagining. So I'm just watering it way down. I just keep adding water until it felt like the consistency that I would want. And then I'm just going to brush it all onto my wood round. And then I'm taking a paper towel and I'm going to rub it in, and it works just perfectly for a stain. You can see the wood, what do you call it? Anyways, you can see the wood in the, in the background of the stain. And I just love how this came out. But that wood round was it was warped. So I decided to use some wood glue and hot glue, and I'm going to add another wood round to it to kind of help straighten it out some. And so, yeah. So, and I had already added that stain to both sides. That's why you see me doing it on this side. But once I have this added, I'm making sure to match up the holes to the holes on the other one, just like you see me doing right there. And then I'm going to use some clamps to just kind of clamp it down for a few minutes, just until that hot glue sets. And I did that just wherever I saw that the wood was kind of warped. And then after that, I went ahead and covered the back side of that with some more of that stain. Luckily, I made quite a bit. Now, I went to go use my little scraper tool there to get that vinyl onto my transfer tape, but this vinyl is so horrible. I didn't need to even rub it at all. It just stuck right to my transfer tape. Anyway, so I'm going to place it onto my wood round here. And I think I told you this wood round came from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to burnish it on here and then lift my transfer tape. Oh my goodness. Okay, once I have this all on, now I wasn't planning on keeping this on there, so that's why I'm using the Dollar Tree vinyl. I am going to take my ink color by Waverly, and I'm just going to go over the whole wood round with my ink. And you're probably saying, well, why would you put the stain on there and then go over it with your black? Well, you're going to see the magic in just a moment. But I love this. I've done this technique a couple of times with other colors, and I just love how it looks and how it turns out. And this one I absolutely love. Now, I was going to put a saying on the top of this. I was going to put winter blessings. But after I got my black on there, I went, oh, shoot, I forgot to put my decal down for the saying. So it's going to have no saying at all. And then I'm just going over the edge with that black. And I don't think I painted the black back, or did I? I don't remember. I should have if I didn't, because I got some on the back. I think I did. Anyways, I'm just going to rip off that vinyl and expose that stain color. And I love this. It is so beautiful. Of course, I really love the black with the antique wax anyways, or this brown color. And I don't know. I just love this. So I'm just going to continue pulling. Now, you could probably do this when it's dry. And with this Dollar Tree vinyl, it probably would have been better to do it when it was dry, because it probably would have popped off easier. And I wouldn't be getting paint all over my fingers. And I was trying to be really careful because I didn't want to get the paint that was on my fingers on my round, because that's something I would do. And I was pretty good at not getting it on there. But anyways, I just carefully kept pulling and using my Cricut tool here to just kind of help me remove it. And look how beautiful that is. I just love it. So once I had it done, I got these 6-foot garlands from Walmart. These were before Christmas. And the bigger ones was $7.99. The smaller ones were $6.99. But I think it's such a great deal. I always like to get some that are more neutral that I can use throughout the year. And I'm going to make a hanger with it. Now, I was going to add some greenery to the top of this. And you could, if you want to recreate this, definitely could do something like that. But I just really liked how simple it was. And so I decided to just add these wood beads as a hanger. I'm adding one big one to 2 small ones. So I'll add a big one, add 2 small ones, add another big one, add 2 small ones. And I did that until I think I have 20 beads on there. I always try to stay with an even number or end up with an even number. Otherwise, when you hang it, it kind of hangs crooked. So as you can see there too, I had put tape on the end of my jute twine because I wanted to be able to thread it through those beads easier. And then I'm just going to tie it. I thread it through the holes and tied a knot. And then I will do the same thing with the other side. I put some tape on the end so it threads through that hole much easier. And then after I have that taped in, I'm going to thread it through again. And I'm going from the back, no, from the front to the back, and then I'm just going to tie the knot up around the top part of it. Now, I originally had done this and I had just put the string from the front to the back and tied knots, but it was hanging weird, so I decided to do it this way. Much better. And look how beautiful that is. I love it. You could even add glittery snow if you wanted to. That would have been really pretty too. I should have done that. I have that glitter paint. That would have been really pretty, but I love it. You have to let me know what you think about this one. Okay, DIY number 4. So for this DIY, I'm going to take this sign from Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove that beaded hanger and I'm going to save it because you can always use that for other projects. And once I had that done, I taped off the front part because I will get paint or whatever I'm doing all over the place. So I've learned to use that tape. And then I'm just going to use my antique wax and a baby wipe, and I'm just going to go all the way around the frame part of my picture here. This is a super easy DIY, you guys. I have to admit, I am done with winter. I know I did my poll and majority of people still wanted winter. I'm doing this for you. I'm going to have one, maybe 2 more. I can't decide if I'm going to do another one, a winter DIY video, but I'm ready to move on. And this is why. I saw this saying, I was looking for, what was I looking for? I was looking for something and on Cricut Design Space, and I was like, I really am sick of winter. When I'm fine with winter in December, but after Christmas, you guys, I don't want winter anymore. I want it to be spring. And I saw this saying because I was thinking I need to make a sign that says something like I hate winter or something like that. And I saw this and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it. And it says, "Dear winter, I'm breaking up with you. Summer is hotter." And I just cracked up when I saw that because that's really how I feel. And there's Mr. Oliver. I think he was lonely. He came to visit me, so I put him up here to spend some time with me. But I'm just going to use some of those greenery picks from Dollar Tree that I love. And I am just going to hot glue some along the top part of this just to kind of give it a little more of a winter feel. I thought about maybe adding a little wood sunshine or something like that, but nah, I did decide to just keep this winter theme going. And I'm just cutting off the ends and I'm just going to hot glue them onto the top. Now, Oliver normally doesn't like being on my table and he wants to get down, but I think he was really lonely because look, he just laid down. I think that's because he wanted to spend time with me. My husband wasn't home yet from work and my mom was in her room, and so he was out in the living room by himself. I think he was lonely. I felt bad. So after I had those on there, I took 3 pine cones and I'm going to hot glue them to the front where those greenery pieces are. And then I'm going to take some tumbling tower blocks. And I don't know what it is, you guys, but I have a hard time sometimes with making stands with these. So I took 4. I'm going to hot glue them end to end. And I am going to use my antique wax with a baby wipe and go over it. And then I'm going to glue it to the back of my stand. And when I was on my table, look at those eyes. Aren't those eyes so adorable? Anyways, when I had it on my table, it stood up just fine. And when I went to go take pictures, it wouldn't stand up. So I did end up taking a couple more and I hot glued them to the back part of these once it was on my sign. So you have 5 and then you have 2 right behind it. And then now it stands better, but I don't know why I feel like I can never hot glue it correctly to where it stands up, and I have to do the added tumbling tower blocks to my signs all the time. Anyways, so there it is. I love it. I'm definitely going to put this one up in my house because I'm ready for summer and it's freaking cold in here. Anyways, okay, so your final review. Okay, here's DIY number 3. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I bought these little houses from Dollar Tree and I took them out and I spray painted them white. At the time, I did not know what I was going to do with them. I just knew that it was going to be cold and I wouldn't be able to spray paint them, and I wanted to spray paint them. So I did. And this morning it came to me. I remembered I had these houses and I knew exactly what I wanted to do with them. So I took this little board that I got from Dollar Tree earlier this year, and I am just giving it a good coating of white. Now I do give it 2 coats because that green is so bright and the words kind of come through. Then I took my antique Waverly wax and I'm going to go over that white paint with it. So I'm brushing it on here, and then I'm going to do my normal thing of taking a paper towel and wiping it off, but it wasn't what I had in mind. That's not the look I was really going for. So I decided to just add more of the antique wax and not wipe it off. And this is exactly what I was thinking in my mind. It just gives it that wood look, and I love it. So once it was all dry, I took my houses and I'm just kind of placing them where I think I want them. And then I'm going to use my E6000 and hot glue to adhere these houses to the board. And of course, the E6000 is for permanent hold and the hot glue is for immediate hold. So after that, I took some of these little trees. I think that one was from Walmart, and then the smaller ones are from Dollar Tree. And I am just going over and hot gluing them to the sides on each side of the houses there, as you can see. And I just love this. It's so simple. I think that's what I love about all of these DIYs today. They're just really simple and just really pretty. So I took some more of that black checkered ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree, and I just wrapped it around the base of this, and I'm just hot gluing it together. And then after that, I take some little tiny black checked bows that I got from Hobby Lobby in the miniature ornament section, and I just hot glue one on each of the taller houses. And that's all there was for this one. And again, I don't know what it is, but the simplicity of it just makes it beautiful. And I am in love with it. I do add a few little candles in the back, some LED candles, and there it is. And I just love how it looks. It's so fresh and clean. And that's kind of what I feel like after Christmas when you put all your decor away. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I took 2 of these tag signs from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to peel off the top layer of the paper. And I like to use my Cricut spatula here. It really does help with removing that paper. So once I had it all done, or the top layer off, I spritzed it with water and set it aside for about 5 minutes. And then I used my paint scraper here to just scrape off all that paper and the glue that was on the bottom of all that. And then I just used some Goo Gone on it. And I did that for both of those tags. And then I painted them with my Snow White by Waverly. After that, I took some transfers from Chalk Couture. Now, if you're not familiar with Chalk Couture, they are adhesive silk screen transfers. I fuzzed them on my fuzzing cloth because this is the first time I've used them and I don't want it to pull up the paint. And I laid them where I wanted. And on this one, I'm using, I believe it's called Forest, the Chalk Couture paste. And I'm just going to lay it back down in different areas and go over it with my paste. Just kind of sporadically. I think I laid it down about 4 times. And then I went and washed it very thoroughly. Then I went with my eucalyptus chalk paste and I'm going over this other pine branch, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to go about 4 times. And then there was a stick, a limb, a tree limb, and a pine cone, and I'm taking my chalk paste in the color bark, and I'm going over both of those and laying those around here and there. Now I did get a little bit of paste on my board there, but I did touch it up with some white paint. After I was done with that, I took some Mod Podge and I'm just coating the smaller tag sign with that Mod Podge. Now I got this off of just a free printable online. I will have a link to it in case you want to print it out as well. I cut it out and then I decided I wanted to fussy cut around all the little branches and stuff, which I did. And then I was like, I'm not happy with this. The branches were just gray and I just wanted it to pop a little bit more. So I took this extra fine point Sharpie, a brown Sharpie, and I'm just kind of going over the pine cones and the gray branches that they had there. And I think it pops a lot more and I really love the way it came out. After that, I put it on my small tag once it was all dry, and I'm adding my parchment paper and going over it with my heat press to reactivate that Mod Podge. And then I am going over it again with some more Mod Podge, but if you recreate this, I would recommend spraying it with an acrylic, what am I looking, talking, a spray, to protect it because it was starting to smear a little bit. Then I took my marker there and I made some stitch lines around it. I'm taking my distressing ink here from, I get this at Hobby Lobby, and I just went around the edge of the bigger tag sign. Then I'm just going to use my wood glue and hot glue here to attach the little tag sign to the front of the big tag sign. Now I did make sure that my chalk paste was dry. It doesn't really take it very long to dry. And then I'm just putting it right in the front. And then I just went ahead and took some twine and went around that small one. After that, I'm going to make a finger bow here. I'm going to make a 2-looped finger bow. I went around my fingers and then I'm taking that in, going between my fingers, pulling it up, and then going down and up through that one loop that I had just made. Then I pull tightly and then I'm going to hot glue it where that hole is. And then I did trim off the legs there. Then I took some greenery pieces. The lighter greenery pieces are from Dollar Tree. The darker ones, I believe I got from Temu. I decided to wrap twine around the middle. And as you can see, I'm just tying a knot here. And I did this because I felt like it would stick better to my tag sign with the hot glue with that twine instead of like the back of the greenery pieces because it was metal. Then I took some more twine here and I put some tape on the end of it, and I took these are beads that I got off of a Christmas garland from Walmart, and I am going to I put that twine through the hole of the tag sign, and I'm just putting that twine, once I had the beads on there, I put the twine back through those beads again to make a loop at the top. And then after that, I'm going to tie a knot at the top of that loop to hold those beads in place. And then we have a little hanger. And then I'm just going to pull it tight. So basically I have two of the twine strings there coming out of the back. And I just tied a triple knot, I think it was here. And then I'm just going to trim that off. And then I'm going to take some of these pine cones and add them to the front. And there it is. I love how this came out. I think it is so pretty. You have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. So here's DIY number 2. So for this DIY, I'm going to take one of these wood sleds from Dollar Tree. You could use any of the wood sleds that they have. And I am taking a baby wipe and I'm just dipping it in the lid of my Waverly Antique Wax. And I'm just brushing it all on all over this sled. Now I got in every little nook and cranny that I could. I even did underneath it. I just didn't want you to see any of that plain wood. After that, I took a small piece of floral foam and I'm going to glue it right to the top part of my sled. Then I took these picks I got from Temu, but you could use any picks that you might have. I decided they were too long, so I'm just using my needle nose, are those pliers? I don't know. No, wire cutters. And I'm just going to start cutting them in half because I just felt they were too long. You couldn't really see the sled, so I cut them down. And then I took, these are the little, they're like frosted pine picks that I got from Dollar Tree. I just love these. I'm just going to stick them in here and there. You could use any of the greenery that you have that you think feels winterish. I just loved these and wanted to use them. Then this is from Dollar Tree as well, and it had on the label, it said mistletoe, but I only had, I think I previously used, there was another stem of it with the berries. I wish I would have had more of that, but I just continued filling it in with different greenery pieces until I liked it. Then I took these, I think I got these from Dollar Tree. They were in my stash, these snowflakes. I took a stem from those pine picks and I cut it off. You're going to see me do it here. I think. No, maybe not. Anyways, I cut it off and then I'm just gluing them to the back, and then I'm going to add them to the inside of my little planter there. And look at that. Isn't that just so sweet? It's just a little winter planter that you could put on your shelf. I love it. You'll have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I'm going to use this ornament I got at Dollar Tree of this metal deer head. I'm going to use my Waverly Antique Wax as well as my Waverly chalk paint in the color Cashew. This beautiful rustic looking scrapbook paper that came from this paper pad that I got from Hobby Lobby. And then one of these 12 by 12 wood panel canvases. I got this. It was in the $+ section, but they had marked it down to $1.25 because they were getting rid of them. So I started off by painting that wood canvas with my antique wax, and then I painted the deer head with the cashew. Then I laid my paper inside of this wood panel, and I am just creasing the paper where I need to cut it. Then I took my paper trimmer. I find that this is the best way for me to get a straight, even line most of the time. Can you believe, even sometimes with a paper cutter, I get it crooked? Oh my goodness. Anyway, so once that was all cut down, I took my tacky glue here. Don't ask me why I'm using this and not Mod Podge. I don't know. I was just in a mood. So I'm going to brush this all along the inside of my wood canvas. You could use Mod Podge. You could use a glue stick. You could probably even use Elmer's glue. Use whatever glue you like. So then I'm just going to place my paper right inside of it. I just love this one. And then I took this Distress Oxide, and this is called Vintage Photo, I believe, and a little dauber. And I'm just going around the edge of my painted deer head here. And I'm just going to go all around every edge of it that I can. Now, I was going to try and cover the holes with my spackling, but yeah, it didn't work. So once I was done with that, I took my Fix-All glue. I'm going all the way around the back of this, and I'm going to put it on my picture. I didn't even use hot glue because I knew this would be laying down for a while. As you can see, I have my Type Bond glue there because it was trying to pop up. But I'm taking I took 3 garland ties from Dollar Tree, and I'm just wrapping the ends together, and then I'm just going to make a circle and then wrap those 2 ends together. And then once I had it shaped the way I liked it, I'm going to put it around my deer head. I did move my Type Bond glue. And then I'm going to add some little hot glue here to glue it in place. So I just added it to the top, and then I just kind of went and tacked it down here and there all the way around to make sure that it was fully secure. After that, I took some of these pine cones. Now, I got these from Amazon. I think I have them in my Amazon store, but I know Hobby Lobby has a bag of them. I just ordered these because they had some really small ones included, and I wanted them for some different projects that I did this winter. Once I had those pine cones all hot glued, I took some of these wood snowflakes from Hobby Lobby. I did not paint them because I felt like the color really matched with the deer head and the color of the snowflakes on the paper. Then I took my Snow Tex here, and I'm just going to go all the way around my greenery, the pine cones. I even brushed a little bit on the snowflakes, and I even went with some really light brushing along my deer head. But once I had that all done, I'm picking at all those hot glue strings that drive me nuts. I took one of these. Now, if you saw my lantern video, I took these off of some picture frames and I just decided to go ahead and use it. And I'm just hammering it into the back of this, and there it is. I love how this turned out. It is woodland. It is rustic. I love it. You have to let me know what you think about this one in the comment box below. Links to those accounts. DIY and number 2. Okay, so I'm going to use that ribbon from Dollar Tree that looks like birchwood, my antique wax. I end up using like 2.5 packages of these garland ties from Dollar Tree. These are some wood dowels that I got from Walmart. They're 3/8 inch in diameter. And then one of these small wood plank hanging decor pieces from Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to use part of a pool noodle. I'm going to start off by taking my antique wax and brushing it all over my wood piece here and then wiping off the excess with a paper towel. And I did both sides and I made sure the ends were covered as well. And then after I was done with that, I took these dowel rods and I marked them at, I believe it was 8 inches. And I'm just using my miter shears to cut them. Now, if you don't have these, put them on your Christmas list. They are amazing. They cut through paint sticks, wood dowels. They cut through a lot of things and I love them. Once I was done, I cut 2 of those down and I left one, the 12 inches that it was. And then I'm taking a paper towel here and just wiping on some antique wax just to give it that brownish color. After that, I laid my wood plank up against my pool noodle here so that I know about what size to cut it. And I'm using my box cutter to kind of go around the diameter of it. And then I just use my scissors to kind of snip in the middle. And then I'm just going down the middle of that one that I cut and then break it in half. Now I'm just going to lay it on top of my wood piece. But before I do that, I took a small piece here. I used some hot glue and a small piece of that ribbon to cover the ends. And then I just like, I don't really like this because you can feel where it's melting in the pool noodle. So I took my Fabri-Tac glue instead, and I am just trying to squeeze it out. I don't know why it was so hard to squeeze out, but my hand was hurting afterwards. I think I need to do hand exercises because it feels like lately I've been having a hard time with opening jars and squeezing things. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac glue to add that ribbon onto my pool noodle. I'm just covering it like you see, and then I took another strip about the same length and covered the other side of it. And I also glued the ends down to the middle. You just kind of push the excess down into that little groove because you're not going to see it. It's going to be sitting on top of the wood piece. So here's where I'm putting on the second piece of this ribbon. And yeah, I love this ribbon. I think it's really cool. And it doesn't even feel like real ribbon. It's almost like a thicker tissue paper feel, crepe paper kind of feel actually. But it works really well. So once I was done, I just cut a little hole so that I could jab my dowels into it. I'm just cutting a little hole into the ribbon and into the foam and then just pushing my dowels into that. And then I'm going to take that Fix-All glue and I'm going all around the edges of my pool noodle here because I want this to stay attached to that wood piece. And then I added some hot glue just to the dowels. That way that kept them in place. And then I just kind of held them firm. And then after that, I took my garland ties here and I'm cutting them down to 4 inches each. Now, I wish I would have done this at the beginning. At the beginning, I just started cutting. I wasn't paying attention. And so the bigger tree that I'd started with looks a little lopsided. I kind of had to add some bigger pieces to kind of help fill in the gap, but I just made sure the rest of them were all 4 inches long. And then I'm just adding glue to the top of each one, hot glue, and I'm just going to hold them in place. You definitely need a finger protector for this because it does seep through. And then after I had them, I think I did like 3 all the way around. And then I started the next layer and just went up a little bit from that, from where those other ones were. And then once I got to the top, I put it down I put the glue just a little bit down from the top of those so that the top part would hang up over the dowel. After I had them all on, I just kind of pulled out some of the branches outward a little bit, but then I took my snow text, and I'm just going to go around all the branches with it. I decided because I could see a little bit of my pink pool noodle that I would add a little twine to the bottom. And then I took some more of those pine cones and hot glued them just here and there around on the branches. And then I went ahead and look at all those glue strings. And then I went ahead and covered them with the snow text as well. And I think that's all I did to it. Oh, no. I have one more thing. Once I have this all done, I bought these small little wood deer cutouts from Amazon. I'll make sure they're in my Amazon store. And I am just brushing them with my antique wax, and I am going to wipe off the excess. I did do both sides. And then after it was all done and dry, I'm going to just put some hot glue along the legs and the bottom of the feet and add it to the bottom of my trees there. And there it is. I love how this came out. It is so pretty and rustic and woodland. You'll have to let me know what you think about this one in the comment box below as well. Can you guys tell I'm excited? I'm excited that I've got about a week and a half off from crafting. As much as I love it, it's just nice to know. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paint in the color Night Sky, and I'm going to paint 2 of those snowflakes from Dollar Tree and that oval from Dollar Tree. Once they were all dry, I took one of the snowflakes, I created a stencil with my Cricut, and I am just laying it out on the snowflakes. Now, I did make 2 of these stencils, and I did do this to both of my snowflakes. I am removing my transfer tape here. I'm doing this actually pretty slow because there's a lot of small pieces on this, and especially in the areas where there was no wood snowflake underneath it, I was trying to lift it up. So I was having to work really hard at making sure that everything stayed in place. Once I had it all on there and smoothed out, I took my Waverly chalk paint in the color Snow White and a stencil brush, and I am just going to pounce up and down all around the cutout areas of my stencil. And then once I had it all done, I did use my heat gun to dry the paint a little bit, so that way it was a little easier to remove. I should say, so I didn't have to worry about getting wet paint on the blue when I was removing it. So here I'm just removing that stencil. And then I went with my little Cricut tool here and just pulled up all the little areas that was covered that needed to be pulled up as well. And I did this on, like I said, both of my snowflakes. So here I'm just taking some wood glue and I'm going over the edge of one of the snowflakes. And then I'm going to add some hot glue as well for the immediate hold, and the wood glue's for permanent. And then I'm just going to add the other snowflake on top of the bottom snowflake. Then I took this oval from Dollar Tree, and I also created this saying that says Flakes Welcomed. I probably shouldn't have added a D on that, welcomed, but I did. Anyways, I'm looking at it now thinking, why didn't I just leave it welcome? Anyways, I saw this saying on a snowman on Pinterest, and I thought it was so cute, and I thought it'd be really cute with snowflakes. So I am adding some wood glue and hot glue to the back of my oval. Oh my goodness. And then I'm going to add this to the front of my 2 snowflakes there. I almost put it upside down. That would not have been good. And then after I had that on, I had some of this. This is some fuzzy, I think it was called gift trim. I bought this, I believe, last year from Walmart at Christmas time. And I am just going to hot glue it all the way around that oval. I thought it would be very pretty. And then I decided to go ahead and use that as a hanger as well. And it slid right through the holes with no problem. And then because it is wired, so that is probably why it slid through so easily. But anyways, I'm just tying a knot in the back here. And then I'm going to it took a little bit here to get that edge to come through because it is wire, so it was kind of hard to pull, but I finally got it. And then I did the same thing on the other side. This side seemed to go easier. I think I made the end of it a little longer, so that was why it was a little easier. But I'm just going to tie another knot here, as you see. And then I have a hanger, and that's all there was for this one. Super easy, super simple. If you don't have a Cricut, you could use stickers for this. You could use any kind of snowflake stencil. Just use whatever resources you have on hand if you want to recreate. Okay, DIY number 3. So for this DIY, I took this sign from Dollar Tree. I'm going to remove the hanger, and I'm going to paint I'm going to tape it off first because I'm going to paint the inside of it with my night sky, and then I painted the edges or the rim of the sign with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Snow White, and there it is. I think it's just beautiful. I love the colors. And then after that, I took some of these snowflakes that came from this packet from Hobby Lobby, and I painted them white. And then I took some letters I had in my stash. These came from Dollar General, but you can use the ones from Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby, wherever you can find some wood letters, or you could even use stickers if you wanted. But I painted them all white here, and I'm just kind of laying them out. And after I edited this, I'm like, oh, I don't really like the way I laid it out, but well, it's too late now. So we have a brand new dollar store that's like not even a mile away from my house, you guys. I was so excited. But anyways, I found these wood sticker letters, not letters, but wood sticker words. That's what I'm looking for. And so I grabbed them and I just painted that word that says hello. I stuck it in place, and then I'm just going to use my hot glue to add my letters to spell out winter. And after I have them all hot glued on, then I am going to hot glue the snowflakes, and I'm going to hot glue each one, trying to kind of give them the same shape that I had them laid out. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. Anyways, and then once I had all 3 of them hot glued, I'm going to use a white paint marker, and I'm just going to make some dotted lines so it looks like it's hanging from the top. And then I took my night sky in a really small brush, and I am just trying to make it kind of look like icicles coming down off of the top of the letters. I wasn't quite sure how this looked, or if it looked okay or not. I showed it to Kathy Jo, and she thought it looked great. So if you don't like it, blame it on her. No. No, she's gonna kill me for saying that. After that, I took a little embossing tool or that has a rounded edge, and then I'm just dipping it in my paint, and I'm making polka dots all around that white border. And once I have it all done, now you might see I did that on the word hello, but I decided I didn't like it on the word hello, so I ended up repainting that hello with the white. And then after I am all done, I took some more of that gift trim from Walmart, the fuzzy ribbon, I would like to call it. And I'm just going to make another hanger with this one too. Now, you guys will notice at the end that all of my DIYs really complement each other with the colors. They match very nicely. I was in the blue mood, I guess. I figured, you know what, this is my last winter video until December, so I wanted to do something a little more whimsical and a little different than what I've been doing. I know I've been doing a lot more rustic, but I think this came out really cute. I really do like it. I hope you do too. Let me know in the comment box below what you think about this one, and yeah, let me know. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paints in the color Snow White and ink. I'm going to use some pine cones. I'm actually going to end up using, I think, 5 of those. I'm going to use some of these little pine picks that I got off of a candle wreath from Hobby Lobby. This embroidery hoop I got at a yard sale for $3. And then this 14-inch wood round that comes from Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to start off by painting that wood round with my ink, and then I'm going to paint that hoop with the Snow White. After they were all done and dry, I'm just going to put that hoop around my wood round and then tighten the little nut and screw that's above it. Then I'm just going to lay my greenery pieces down to make a snowflake design, and I am going to hot glue them all the way around. And now I did get this idea. I saw something similar to this on Pinterest, and I just thought it was so pretty. I wanted to recreate it, and I love how this came out. So after I had those all glued in, I took my pine cones and I am going to hot glue all around. I hot glued one in the middle, and then I took the other 4 and just hot glued around that one in the middle. After I had all those pine cones hot glued on, I guess I'm going to show you all of it. I didn't realize I was going to show you all this. Yeah. I'm going to take some of those berries. Now these pine cones and berries, they come in a pack with some little greenery picks. I got them in from Amazon. I do have them in my Amazon store if you're interested, but it's a great little pack. And I'm just going to add the berries here around. I added 4 berries, removed all those glue strings that drive me nuts. I'm taking a zip tie here, and I'm going around this screw with that zip tie. And I'm going to make a bow doing the awareness ribbon, scrunching it up in the middle. And normally I would use some twine or something to hold it in place, but instead I'm going to run it through my zip tie here. And then I took some cedar picks from Amazon, and then the frosted, I think they're called frosted ferns or something. I don't know, from Dollar Tree. I think I got them last year or the year before. And then I'm just going to tighten that zip tie to hold it all in place. And then I'm going to fluff up the bow. The ribbon came from Dollar Tree. It's not very good ribbon, you guys. It frays really, really bad. And yeah, anyways, I'm going to cut off that extra part of the zip tie. I'm going to dovetail the ends by folding and cutting at an angle. And then I'm going to add some ribbon going around that screw there. This came from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to tie a knot here to create a hanger, and then I'm going to trim off that extra. And that's all there was for this. It's super easy. The most time-consuming part was the painting, but other than that, it was so easy, and I think it is just stunning. You'll have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So I am going to use my Antique Wax by Waverly, my Waverly chalk paints in the color Pumpkin, in the color Ink, and Snow White. And then I'm going to use this Apple Barrel paint. I think it's Pink Blush. Sorry, it's not in focus there. And then these letters I got from Hobby Lobby, and when they were on sale, 40% off. And then I'm going to use this little snowman from Dollar Tree. And then this wood round is from Hobby Lobby. It comes in a pack of 6, I believe. It's a 14-inch. And then this is the back of a gift box. I used that gift box to make some signs a couple of years ago. They're great signs. Anyway, so I start off by cutting open that box and then tracing out my wood round and cutting that box out. Then I'm using some Elmer's glue and hot glue, and I'm going to attach that to the front of my wood round. Then I decided I wanted to kind of distress it a little bit, so I'm going over it with some antique wax just to it was kind of a pinkish brown, and I wanted it to be a little more brown. And then I also covered the back with my antique wax as well. And then after that, I'm going to take the snowman and my letters, and I'm going to paint them. The snowman I painted with the white and the red there, as you see. I'm using a Sharpie with, I have gotten some stencils of snowman faces from Amazon. I'll have them linked in my Amazon store if you want to check it out. But I'm just making the eyes here, and then I'm going to use little dots of black, or the ink color, to make his mouth. Then I'm going to use that polish pink to color in his rosy cheeks, and then my pumpkin by Waverly to paint in his nose. And then once I am done with this, I didn't want him to be so white because that backing is a little more off-white and browns. So I took my antique wax and a wet baby wipe, and I'm just kind of smearing it in just to darken his color a little bit, just to mute it a little bit. And then I took that antique wax and I'm just going over the 3 letters that I have here and just brushing it on with that baby wipe. And then after that, I thought my camera was rolling, but I used some Mod Podge, and this is diamond dust, and I just put it around the brim of his hat and on his little ball. And then I'm just adding a little bit to the letters. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what diamond dust is, it's like little pieces of glass. So you do want to be careful when handling it, but I mean, I was fine. I didn't get any cuts or anything, but it's really cool because it's very shiny and I really liked it. So after I was done with my snowman, I went ahead and used hot glue. I should have added some like E6000 or something. I wasn't thinking until I was almost done. But I'm just using the hot glue to attach him, and then I'm going to attach those the letters as well. And I'm just kind of doing wonky so that it just kind of gives it some fun. Then I took this ribbon. I got this, I believe, from Walmart. I think it was this last year. Maybe it was the beginning of the year for Christmas, or beginning of Christmas year. Christmas this year. Oh my goodness. I just made a bow by doing the awareness ribbon, scrunching it down, tying some jute string around it. And then I'm going to do the same with that red buffalo check, which is also from Walmart. And then I'm just going to hot glue this to my sign. And I have to tell you guys, I think this is my favorite. I don't know. I love them all that I did for this DIY or this video, but I absolutely love this sign. So I used my crocodile. I believe I do have that in my Amazon store if you want to check it out. It's perfect for making holes for signs and stuff. And I made a hole, and then I'm adding my bow, and I added a snowflake to the bow. And then I decided to take my beaded jute twine I get off of Amazon, and I just went around that round, and then I'm using some of that to make a hanger as well. And I'm just going to tie a knot there where I made that hole, and then I'm going to string on some natural color beads. Now I got these beads from Amazon. I'm not sure what size they are. They didn't have it have the size on the bag, and it came in a bag of multi sizes. So I just took 3 of them. I'm stringing them on, and then I'm going to make a loop by taking the end of my cord there, wrapping it around the bottom of the loop, and then bringing it through the wrap. Hopefully that makes sense. And then that's all there is for this. You guys, I absolutely love this. You'll have to let me know what you think. And I decided, since we're transitioning into winter, that I'll do snowman for this video because it can be Christmas and it can be winter for those of you who still wanted Christmas and those of you who wanted winter. So we're going to start off by doing a video of snow DIY number 3. Okay, you guys, I kind of got this idea from Pinterest. I saw something similar. So I'm going to use my fuzzy yarn. I'm going to use this Dollar Tree sign. I'm going to use some felt that I got from Walmart. And then I'm going to use this paper tablecloth that I found at Walmart. And then, of course, this snowman ring from Dollar Tree wreath ring. If you can't find that, you can always put a bigger and smaller wreath ring together with a zip tie. And then that vinyl. And you could use like, I'm trying to think, like skewers for the hands. Anyways, so I sanded all the glitter off. Now, I put this on the back thinking this would be easier than trying to paint it or cover it with shipping paper, but it's still see-through. So if you wanted to do something like this and sell it or give it to somebody, you'd probably want to cover it with something else. But I painted the backside with my white paint, and then I let it dry and covered it with Mod Podge. And while my Mod Podge was drying, I am taking my wreath form, and I'm tracing out the part of the tablecloth that I want to show. And then after that, I am going to hot glue my yarn, and I'm going to just start wrapping. Now I start off by wrapping the body and then the head where it attached. And then as soon as I got to where it splits, I just start going over the body part, go all the way around, and then finish off the top. And then after that, I took some black yarn and I covered the hands with it. I can't remember if I show that or not. So then once my board was dry, I took my tablecloth, put it on my board, added some parchment paper, and I'm using my heat press to go over it so that it reactivates the hot glue and the tablecloth sticks to it. Then I'm going to add some more Mod Podge to protect that tablecloth, and I did not iron it afterwards. It didn't really have any wrinkles, and I didn't feel like it needed it. So then I just took my lighter here, and I am just burning the edges off. And be very careful if you're going to do this. I always have water next to me just in case. But it stops wherever the Mod Podge is. And then after it was done, I just sanded off all those little burnt pieces. And then I am going to hot glue this to the back of my snowman wreath body. And you guys, I love this one too. Oh, I think it's so cute. So then after I have this all hot glued, I took that felt and I cut it down to fit around the hat. And I am just going to hot glue it to that hat part, just like you see me doing right there. And then I'll hot glue the other side. And then I will hot glue the top. I'm just going to bring it down. I probably could have done something at the corners, brought it in a little bit more because you can kind of see one of the corners, but you know what? It's okay. Then I'm going to take my ribbon here. I got this, I don't know where. I think this is probably from Walmart. It's been hanging on my wall for a year. Anyways, and I'm just wrapping the little edge of that hat. It has some metal that sticks out. So I just wrapped it with this ribbon, and then I'm just going to hot glue that on as well, because then that way it just kind of gives it a little more definition. Plus I love the way it looks. And then after I have that all hot glued on, I'm going to, this is where I took some black yarn and I just wrapped the hands just to kind of, I don't know, so it doesn't look like the metal. And this was really thin. This is cotton yarn. I thought I had, actually, I do think I have some thicker yarn, and I think I know where it is now, but I couldn't find it. So when I was done with that, I took some more of that ribbon and I'm just making a scarf, just tied a knot. And then I do cut it down and because it was a little too long. Then I had one of these cardinals from Dollar Tree, and it has some wire on the foot. So I just took it and wrapped it around the hand, and then I kind of hot glued the side of the head to the body of the snowman. It might kind of look a little dorky, but it was kind of flopping around and I didn't want it to flop around. So then I took these wood snowflakes from Hobby Lobby. I painted them white, and then I'm going to just hot glue 3 of them on the top of my hat here. And then I think I hot glue one on the middle of the scarf as well. Yeah. And then I did trim down the scarf because I felt like it was too long. And there it is. I love it. I think it is adorable. You'll have to let me know what you think about this as well. DIY number 3. So for this DIY, I'm going to use this Let It Snow wood piece from Dollar Tree, this snow globe from Dollar Tree. Then I created this decal with my Cricut. This page from this paper pack from Hobby Lobby. And then my Waverly Antique Wax and my Waverly Chalk Paint in the color Snow White. I also used the color ink. I forgot to show it. So I'm going to start off by cutting off this little twine bow. And then I used my finger sander to sand off all the glitter. And once that was all off, then I decided to try and pull off that paper, and it came right off. And so then I just used my spray bottle and spritzed on the backing part of the paper that was stuck there, and then used my paint scraper to scrape it off. And once I got that off, there was still a little bit on, so I just sprayed a little more water and scraped it all off, and then just used Goo Gone to remove any of the adhesive stickiness that was on there. And then I took my chalk paint in the color ink, and I am painting the bottom part of this snow globe. And then I'm going to paint all around the edge, and I paint the back side. So you'll see in a little bit that the front I didn't have fully covered because I'm going to cover it with my paper. Then I took my Let It Snow wood decal here, and I'm painting it with my white chalk paint. But after I got done, I realized, this is not going to stand out because the paper is mainly white. So I was going over the snowflake there with the antique wax, and I thought, okay, well, maybe if I use my what is that, baby wipe that I was using, I can smear some of the antique wax over the white, and maybe that will help it pop. So I do that. I guess I use a paper towel instead. So I do try to smear some of the wax on it, but it still wasn't enough. So I do something different here in a few minutes. So then I took the round part of my globe and I trace it out with my paper, and then I'm just cutting it out. Then I take my glue stick and I am putting it all over my globe and I'm going to add my paper to it. And after I get it added, I go to turn it over and went, oh no, I put my paper on the wrong side. I put it on the side that was all painted, and I was just like, oh. So I just cut out another piece of paper and added it to that side. Then I added my decal on the bottom here. And after I have this added, I don't remember what I did next. Okay, this is where I thought, okay, it's not going to work that way. It's too white still. So I just went and covered it with my antique wax. If you're new here, I want to say welcome. I am so glad you stopped by today. If you like home decor on a budget, holiday decor, thrift flips, gift ideas, and I invite you to hit that red subscribe button, become part of our YouTube family, then hit that notification bell and set it to all so you're notified whenever I upload a video. My normal upload times are Mondays at 5 p.m. Central, but I do like to participate in challenges such as this during the week, and that way YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a video. And again, make sure you guys, if you like this video, give me that thumbs up and comment, because that helps this girl's channel grow, and that's what I'm trying to do. So as you can see there, I just used some glue dots to put behind my Let It Snow stick wood piece, and because I wanted it to kind of come up off the globe a little bit. And then I'm just wrapping that gingham ribbon around where the paper meets the globe. And I just love this. It says Let It Snow Somewhere Else, because I lived most of my life where we got a lot of snow, and I really don't like to live in snow anymore. And so I don't mind snow when it's around Christmas time, but after Christmas, yeah, I don't want it to snow at all. But if you love snow, that's amazing. That's great. I do like snow. I just don't like the inconvenience of having to drive in it and put boots on and coats on and all that kind of stuff. So I'd rather not live in snow. I'll go visit it. So then I decided I wanted to have some of this ribbon or go around the top of it too. And that's all there was for this. I love it. I think it's really cute. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. So for this DIY, I am going to use this candle wreath that I got from Hobby Lobby at 70% off. Those picks from Dollar Tree. And then I created the winter wishes on my Cricut. These wood snowman from Dollar Tree. 2 of these Dollar Tree crates, and this floral foam from Dollar Tree. And then my Waverly chalk paint in the color Snow White and in Elephant. So I'm going to start off by using my wood glue and my hot glue, and I am just going to glue those 2 crates together. And after I get the wood glue on there, I'm just going to add some hot glue and just push them together. And then after I am done with that, I am going to paint them with my Snow White. And I also painted the little wood snowman as well. Once it was all dry, I went ahead with my hot glue and I am just gluing them onto the bottom of my 2 crates there. And then I took my Waverly chalk paint in the color Elephant, and I'm just going to do some dry brushing all the way around the edges. I went around the snowman. I went a little bit in the middle. I just kind of went over wherever I wanted. And if you don't like distressing, you know, and you wanted to recreate this, you could definitely skip this step. This is just something that I really enjoy doing. And then after that, I took my decal that I created that says Winter Wishes, and I am just going to rub it on to the front. And then I tell you, I was struggling. I was even struggled with this one trying to get it on. I don't know what it was. I was having a hard time, I guess. Anyways, so once I had it on there, I put the floral foam inside my little crates, and then I just started putting these picks in. I took the dark green ones and put them around each edge. And then I just started adding the other picks that came off that candle wreath. And then I just kind of put them all here and there. I did end up adding a few more. I found some more of the green picks from Dollar Tree, and I did add a few more like in the middle of it all. But I just kind of went in and just poked them all through wherever I felt they needed it and just kind of filled it all up. Now, I got this idea. My sister, I don't know where she got it. I don't know if it was Hobby Lobby, but she has something like this that says Merry Christmas on it. And I just thought it was really pretty. It's really simple. And I thought, you know what, I could do something like that for winter time instead of Christmas. So once I had it all full, I took these styrofoam balls and I'm just going to put them inside. I was thinking about covering them with some white yarn that I have, the fuzzy yarn, but I just thought, you know what, they look like snowballs just like they are, and that's all there was for it. I really love this. I think it's just so simple. Yeah, it just gives you that pop of winter. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. And then the final reveal is coming up. Okay, DIY number 2. I only have 3 DIYs for you guys. I was too busy to get a 4th one done. So I'm going to take this Snowflake and Snowman from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paints in the colors Night Sky, White, and Dusk. And then I I created this Cricut, what is it, stencil. Stencil with my Cricut. Oh my goodness. I created this saying. I saw it on Pinterest and I thought it was really cute and I thought it would be fun to do this. So I just went over it with that dusk color and I'm just going to remove my stencil. I do get this stencil vinyl from Amazon. I think it's the Frisco brand. And then I had some of these snowflake stencils from a previous DIY that I did like last month. I had some left over that I didn't use. So I thought I'm going to use them on this. I thought it would be perfect. So I'm going to use that dusk color on the snowflakes and then the night sky on the little polka dots. Then I'm taking my pumpkin paint and I'm just very gently and lightly going over the nose, trying to not get it over my white because I'm really good at doing that. And I was proud of myself. I didn't get any on the white. And once I had the nose painted and dried, I took a pencil here. I'm drawing in the eyes, and then I'm going to use my black paint marker to color those eyes in, just like you see me doing right there. And after that, I think I'm going to use the same pin marker to draw out a smile or dots for the mouth, because you know snowmen usually have what, little coal or rocks for the mouth, right? And then after that, I did take a white paint marker. I think I'm going to show this. I'm going to add little, oh no, I'm going to do this first. I have this stencil with polka dots and I always forget to use it. And I remembered I had it behind me. So I just went in and added some polka dots to the scarf. And then this is where I added some white lines and dots to his eyes to bring it to life. I laid it where I wanted it on the snowflake and I'm just using my pencil to trace it out. And then I'm going to use my wood glue and hot glue along that mark line, so that way I can glue my snowman in place. And you guys, I really, really love how this one came out. I just think it is so cute and it would be a fun door hanger. And yeah, perfect for winter, right? I know a lot of you said you'd like to see more snowman and winter DIYs. So this is got both of them in one. I'm going to take my silver glitter glue by Folk Art here, and I wanted to just go all around the edge of the snowflake just to kind of give it some glitteriness. Is that a word? Glitteriness? I don't know. Probably not. It's now a word because I just made it up. Anyways, I'm going to go all the way around the edge of the snowflake with that. And once I got it all done, I thought, you know what? I want some of those snowflakes to shimmer and shine too. So I'm just going to kind of dab a little bit all around the snowflakes because I didn't want to mute the color too much, but I want it to have a little bit of that shimmer to it. So that's what I did. Then I decided to go over the bottom of the snowman with it. And then I'm like, afterwards, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like that. It almost looks like a dirty snowman, but it still looks okay. And I still love this one. I really do love this sign. But anyways, I'm just going to go over all of this. And yeah, I think I might have to hang this on my door after I take my wreath down. I'm going to add some ribbon. This is like it's got silvery ends, but it's see-through in the inside with some gray specks, and I think it's from Walmart, but I'm just going to use that as a hanger. So I'm going to just tie some knots, and I'm using the hanger hole on the snowman and the snowflake, and then I just add a little snowflake on his hat. And oh my gosh, you guys, I love this. I really hope you do too. You have to let me know in the comment box below. Why number 3. Whew, I love this one too, you guys. I love them all, really. But anyways, I'm going to take this cutting board from Dollar Tree. I'm going to paint it front and back with my Waverly chalk paint in the color white. Once it was dry, I took this adorable rub-on transfer I got from Essential Stencils last year. I do think they have it again. I know they have it this year, but I think it's still in stock. I haven't checked for a few weeks. But I am going to rub. And one thing that I have learned with Essential Stencils, a lot of times when they have rub-on transfers, if they go out of stock, usually give them a week or two and they get it back in. So if there's something that you've been looking for, just keep checking and you might find it. And a lot of times they carry them over to the next year too. So I'm just going to continue rubbing, and then I'm going to start removing the top part. Now, when you remove the top part, you can kind of tell when you're pulling if it's giving you a little bit of pressure when you pull, then it means that it's not done. So you just need to rub it a little bit more. And then when it's ready to come off, it comes off really, really easy. In fact, I think I'll be showing you here that in a minute. See how easily it's coming off. And then when I start feeling a little bit of tension, then I just stop and I rub again until it starts coming off really easy. And you can even see bits of it coming off with that cover if it's not done. And if that happens, you just lay it back down and rub, and then it sticks. So then I added some little snowflakes to it because there was snowflakes all over the page that it was on. And I'm just going to use just a few little snowflakes here and there on there. Then I took some of these 1-inch wood letters from Amazon. I'm going to paint it with my night sky using my tape. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, if you don't have wood letters, you could use stickers for this. You could handwrite it. If you have a Cricut, you could cut it out. Just use whatever you have on hand. So after I had those on, I glued them on with my Tite Bond. I am taking 3 tumbling tower blocks and I am gluing them together end to end, and then I'm going to paint all but one side white, and I leave the other side open so that I don't know, I'm going to glue it so you're not going to need to see it, right? And then after I had it all painted and dried, oh my goodness, my fingers are a mess. I am a messy painter, you guys. I get paint everywhere, all over my brushes. Kathy Jo says it would drive her nuts if she had brushes that looked like mine. Once it was dry, I took my old paintbrush here. I'm using my Tite Bond Quick and Thick multi-surface glue and some hot glue. I'm gluing it to the tumbling tower blocks, and then I'm going to use that on the back of my sign for a stand. And that's all I did for this one, I believe. I don't think I did anything else. Oh, I did. I'm sorry. I forgot. I took my Snow Text that I got from Hobby Lobby. You can also get it from Amazon. Went over the words with it. Look at that. I love this. Oh, it is so adorable. You'll have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, the final reveal is coming right up. So make sure to take this Dollar Tree sign, this round sign from Dollar Tree. I'm going to paint the inside of it white and the outside edge of it with that Folk Art Nantucket is the color. And I paint the beads that too. Oh, I'm going to show you that. I lay the the beads out on painter's tape, and I'm going to hold it down with a paintbrush as I paint all around it, just like you see. And after I get all of this painted, then I am going to turn it around, turn the tape around, because I always end up missing some on the very bottom part on this side. So then I just turn it around and I am painting all the stuff that got missed on the side that I couldn't see. So after I do that, I am going to take some Mod Podge on, put it all around the middle part of this. I love that Nantucket blue. It's so pretty. And you guys, it is almost exactly the same color as Night Sky by Waverly. So just an FYI. I let that dry, and then while it was drying, I took this beautiful napkin. I've had this for a couple of years. I got it from decoupagenapkin.com, and every year I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it, and then the year comes and goes, and I don't use it. And I thought I saw it, and I'm like, I'm going to use it this video. So I got my two plies removed from it. Now, don't do this. I don't know what I was thinking. It was late and I wasn't thinking, apparently. I took these plates and I traced around it. What I should have done was use my wet paintbrush to go around it with those plates in place. But then I thought, okay, I was going to cut it. And I thought, why don't I just use my wet paintbrush? And then I'm like, oh, wait, it's going to start smearing with the ink there. I'm like, duh, Brenda, that was real smart. So then I went ahead, after I tore that little bit there, I just went ahead with my scissors and I cut it out, trying to get all the black removed. There was a little bit that I could still see that I missed, but I'll show you what I do with that later. So once I have all of this extra cut off, I am going to lay it in the middle of my round, and I'm going to put my parchment paper over it, and I am going to go over it with my heat press, just like I did with the previous DIY. And then I am going to add a little bit of Mod Podge. And when I go over the lines, I'm just really kind of making sure that brush goes right in between the lines with that Mod Podge, and it just kind of makes those lines pop out more. You could use an X-Acto knife and go through and cut it if you wanted to. Honestly, I was going to originally do that and I forgot. So I took some more of those pine picks from Dollar Tree. I'm twisting them together. I just used two. These are some pip berries that I'm just going to wrap around. I just thought, oh, there's pip berries on this picture. I'm going to use some on my greenery, and that will tie it in. And then I'm just going to wrap and wrap and wrap. And then I'm going to glue it in place. So I'm just going to lay it down in my hot glue, and then I'm just going to glue, or just add glue and just kind of hold it down in place until I feel like it's stuck. And then I took my Snow Tex again and I just went all the way around the middle part there between the garland and the napkin, and I went over the edge of the napkin. And I love this because it looks like a snowy day. At least to me, it looks like a snowy day. And which I would rather see the pictures and not live in a snowy day. But I'm going to go around my greenery too. Then I'm just going to add my hanger with my beads, and that's all there is. I was born in Alaska. I was there for I don't know how many years, but then we lived in northern Idaho. So I've lived in a lot of snow for my life, and I've had too much. I don't want snow. When we get snow here, it might last a day or two and then it's gone, and I'm happy with that. Okay, so just tying my knots in the back, and there it is. I think I need to make that hanger a little bit longer because it's kind of puckering up in the back, but there it is. I just think it is adorable. Excuse me. I hope you enjoyed today. Okay, DIY number 2. So I'm going to take this 14-inch wood round from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to paint both front and back with Waverly chalk paint and the color ink. Once I have it dried, I had created these stencils with my Cricut. They're just snowflakes. I went and put them all around the outside edge, and I am taking my chalk paste from Chalk Couture in the color Duchess. This was like a special color they had last year, and I just love this. But if you don't have this, if you have Waverly chalk paint in the color Dusk, that would work. That would look pretty. But any kind of color would be pretty. Anyways, I'm just going over my stencil with a stencil brush, and then I'm just going to tear those pieces off. I did have to do some touch up because I did get some of that paste everywhere, but hey, you know what? A little bit of paint really does good, right? Or it helps out. Helps change things, that's for sure. Okay, once I had that all done, I didn't really have any paint colors that I thought would really match that color. So I decided I'm going to try this. I put some paste in a bowl or on a plate here, and I didn't mean to add that much water. I was like, oh man, I don't want that much to come out. So I'm just going to mix it here and try to mix that paste with the water. That just thins it out because the paste is very thick. It's thicker than your chalk paint. So I'm just going to stir it, and then I do end up adding a little bit more of my paste just because it was too thin. So once I had it stirred really well and there was no chunks, I went ahead and started painting this. Now it was, as you can see, it's very light. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Transparent, translucent. Anyways, one of those. And I was like, oh, I don't like that you can see the board, but I just kept going over it. I let it dry for a few minutes once it was done, and then I went over it with the rest. So I'm glad I made as much as I did because I ended up using all of it, and just so that it would give it a nice coverage and you wouldn't see that wood color. Then I took this transfer from Chalk Couture. It's called Down to the Village. It is very adorable, and I am going to fuzz it about 5 times because this is the first time I'm using it. So if you're not familiar with Chalk Couture, the first time you use these, you want to fuzz it because they are self-adhesive silkscreen transfers or stencils, and if you don't fuzz it, it will pull up your paint. Now, I originally was not going to use this stencil. I had another one in mind that it would have been perfect with this, but the words didn't fit on the round, so I couldn't use it. So luckily I was able to use this, and this is just as good. It turns out really good. Now see, I should have moved my stencil over to the left a little bit more because can you see that it's going to show half of a tree there, and it looked kind of funny. But I did, after I washed my stencil, I did come back and put the trees, just kind of filled in the trees a little bit more to the edge, and it looks better. But anyways, I'm just going to go over all of this with my black chalk paste, and then go rinse this out when I'm done. You always want to clean your transfer right away so that paste does not dry on your on the silk screen. Yeah. So after it was all dry, I took my wood glue here. I'm going to glue the back, and then I'm going to add hot glue and glue that to the front of my other round. Now, if you have any questions or interested in Chalk Couture, go ahead and give me an email, and my email is in the description box below, and I'm happy to let you know. I have a link to it. If you don't know, I'm a designer for Chalk Couture, and I do have my link in my description box as well that you can go check it out and get some ideas. I'm taking my big mouth crocodile, making some holes. I just matched it up with the holes that are in the top round. And then I took this ribbon. I don't know where I've got it or how long I have had it. It's been in my stash forever. And I'm just going to use it as a hanger. I'm just going to tie a knot in the back. And that's all there is for this one. I absolutely love the colors of this. This is just so pretty. And, you know, this could be up even through winter. It's not necessarily has to be a Christmas one. I just love this. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. I have a short video for you guys today. Okay, DIY number 1. So I'm going to take one of these MDF pieces from Dollar Tree. I've had this in my stash for quite a while, but you could use any that they have there. I'm going to sand off as much of the stain as I can, and then I'm going to paint the whole thing with my Waverly chalk paint in the color white. Once it was dry, I took this extreme glitter in the color silver by Folk Art. I love this stuff. In fact, I'm almost out. I have to get more. But I'm just going to go over that whole thing with this glittery paint. And you guys, this is better than using glitter because you don't get glitter all over everything. And it's just, it's beautiful. I love it. I was letting that dry. I took these 3 snowman people that I got last year from Amazon. They are in my Amazon store if you're interested. I painted them all with my white. And then I'm going to do the details. So for the dad, I'm going to paint the hat with my black chalk paint. And then after that was all painted, I'm going to take, it's Folk Arts Nantucket Blue. Now, this is almost exactly the same color as Waverly's Night Sky. I just don't have very much of the night sky left, so I just went ahead and used my Nantucket. Then on the mom, I'm using Waverly's Dusk on her hat and her scarf. And then on the little ball, I do white. Now on the little child, I'm going to do both colors. So I'm going to do the Nantucket on the big part of the hat and gloves. And then I'm going to do the trim with the dusk color. And I'll do his scarf. I don't remember what color I did this scarf, actually. I then took a little embossing tool here, and I'm just going to do some polka dots on the top part of the mom's hat, and then I'm going to do some stripes along the bottom part of the hat to make it look like a fun cap. And I also added some polka dots to her scarf. I then took a pencil and I drew out the long part of the scarf. I don't know what you would call that. The tail. I don't know. And then I just used that same paint to paint it in. And then I just kind of went over the edges with my black paint marker just to kind of give it a little more detail, cover up the raw edges. I don't know. I just felt like it was going to look better. And I tried to make it look like, it was tied over the scarf, I guess you could say. Anyways, I'm just going to go around the rest of the scarf with my pin there. And then I'm going to color in his face. And after I color his face in, I colored the mom and the little kids' faces in as well. Used an orange paint marker there for the nose. And then I'm going to give them some buttons. So I just kind of went with the coordinating paint color that matches their hats and stuff. And then after that, I took this Let It Snow sign from Dollar Tree and I painted it with the Nantucket. And then I painted the snowflake with that dusk. And I also went over the snowflake with that silver glittery paint. And then after I was done with that, I took my snow text and I'm going to go over the top part of all the letters and then like anywhere snow might have fallen on it. That's what I'm trying to make it look like at least. And I'm just kind of going all the way around the words with that. Then I took some of these reed wood sticks. These come from Amazon. I cut them down to the size I wanted. They are in my Amazon store if you're interested. And I painted them with that Nantucket blue. And then I'm using my Type Bond Quick and Thick multi-surface glue here with a paintbrush. I'm just going over the area that I'm going to add my sign to. And then I'm just going to put it right where I need it. Then I'm going to add a little more glue to the bottom, that same glue. And then I'm going to add the wood piece or the MDF piece from Dollar Tree right to that area. Then I marked where I'm going to put the glue and on the snowman, and I'm just adding my Type Bond glue to the bottom of each one. And then I'm just going to glue them in place. And then after I have those all glued, I apparently didn't record this, but I added some trees there, and there it is. Now tell me if it needs something. I kept thinking it needs something else, but I couldn't figure out what. So let me know what you think it might need, but I thought it came out pretty cute. Okay, DIY number 3. So I'm going to take this cool mold I just got from Amazon. I just loved it. And I'm going to take some clay and I'm just going to soften it up here. And then I'm just going to press it all in to my mold. This is a mold of a snow globe. And it also has 2 trees and a deer, a reindeer, 2 little gingerbread people, and a snowman and a house. Or is that 2 houses? I can't tell. But anyways, I'm just going to use the snow globe and the snowman. I did do 2 of the trees, but I only end up using 1. So I have another tree sitting here for something else. But once I had it all in, I took this, this came from Dollar Tree in the cake aisle, the cake decorating aisle. And I'm just making it just getting off the excess so that it's smooth to the edge. Then I'm just going to take them all out very carefully and just kind of let them dry for a little bit. Now the snowman came out really nice, but I was a little worried about the trees being smaller, so I just kind of tipped it over like this and just pulled that mold back until the trees released. And I did not use any cornstarch or anything, and it worked just fine. So then after it dried for a little bit, I took my Nantucket and I'm going to paint about 3/4 of the, maybe even a little bit more than 3/4 of the inside of the snow globe and all around the sides with that Nantucket. And then after I had that part painted, I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in the color white. I'm going to go over the rest of the whole bottom part of the globe and the stand part of the globe with my white. And then after I have this all painted and dry, I didn't realize I showed you all of this. Anyways, okay, on with the show. I'm going to take, I'm going to paint the snowman too. So I painted the face and the arms and the body of the snowman white. I painted his hat black. I left the stripe along the hat for the Nantucket blue. I also painted his scarf with my Nantucket blue. And then I took my crimson color, my crimson red, and painted the little package he was holding, and then took my just kind of a gold color, I'm not sure which one it was, and painted the bow that was around the present. And then, of course, I added some paint around his eyes. I think I used my paint. Very, very, very fine, small paintbrush. Then I took this silver again, and I'm going over the snowflakes, and I'm also, after I had all the snowflakes painted, I went around the rims of the bottom part there too. And then I went around the Nantucket blue of the snow globe. And I just love this because it really does make it shimmer and it makes it look more like a snow globe. Yeah, I love it. Anyways, I'm going to take some antique green here, and I'm going to paint that small tree with my antique green. I'm just going to paint the sides and the front of all of it. And I didn't even try the big one to see if it would fit with that snowman. That snowman was a little bit bigger than what I was expecting. But anyways, it doesn't matter. But once I have it all done, then I'm going to use my Type Bond Quick and Thick multi-surface glue. And I'm going to brush it all along the back side of my snowman and glue him in place. And I'm going to do the same thing with that tree. I'm going to glue that in place. And then I'm going to go over the front of the tree with a little bit of white paint to make it look like there's snow on it. I have to tell you something really funny about the first DIY. My grandson came in just as I was finishing it, and he goes, "Mimi, that is the best 2D craft you have made yet." I just laughed. He was like, I'm like, "Oh, you like it?" "Oh, yes." He just loved it. But it just cracked me up. I guess nothing else has impressed him that I've made. Oh, kids. Anyways, I'm taking the, that's where I was doing the snow on the tree. And as you can see, I made some polka dots too on that. Look at, this little breadboard comes from Hobby Lobby. I painted it white. And then I'm just using my Type Bond here once it was glued. Oh yeah, I went over the white breadboard with some of that silver sparkly paint. And then I am going to add my little snow globe to it. And then I took some of this ribbon. You guys, I have had this for many years. I got it at a craft store in Oregon called Craft Warehouse. Some of you that live over in the Northwest know what I'm talking about. But I'm just making bows by doing the awareness ribbon, scrunching them up in the middle. I'm going to tie some twine around it. Now the white ribbon, of course, came from Dollar Tree, and it does not have wire in it. So it's a little harder to work with when you're making a bow. But I got it to work. And then I'm just going to dovetail the ends by folding them in half and cutting at an angle. And then I'm just going to use hot glue to glue it at the neck part of that breadboard. And then I'm just going to add another one of these little glittery snowflakes there. And then I'm going to add some of that ribbon for the hanger. And this is a very small sign. I really wanted to do more. I had high hopes for doing 8 projects, and yeah, I only got that first one done in one day, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna get 8 projects done. So, I really wanted to get more done and wanted to do a bigger sign, but I just ran out of time. I did a lot of painting on this video, so that takes up a lot of time. But anyways, I'll have more in the future, I am sure. But there it is. I just love it. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I'm going to use my Waverly chalk paints in the color ink, and then my antique wax. I'm going to use some of this snow greenery from Dollar Tree. I just love this stuff. I'm going to use this furry ribbon I got from Walmart. I had got these little snowflake ornaments from Walmart last year. I'm going to use those. And then these wood mittens came from Woodpecker's Crafts. I'm also going to use this decal I got from Cricut Design Space. And then this 12 by 12 wood canvas. I think this one might have came from Hobby Lobby. I was intentionally going to, or I intended to paint the middle of this black and the edges with my antique, but I started doing it backwards and it didn't turn out. So I ended up painting it only with the ink color, the black there. And once it was dry, I took the antique wax and I went over my mittens. I went over the front, the back, and the sides, brushing on the antique wax and then wiping off the excess. And I did both sides of it, I think, and I didn't need to, but oh well. And then after that was all done and they were dry, I'm going to take my decal here and I'm going to place it on the top part of my my board here. And then after that was done, I took some hot glue and I had cut out a couple pieces of that furry ribbon, and I'm just going to glue them to the top cuff part of my mittens. And it was shedding on me. Could you see that? Shedding and hot glue. Driving me nuts. Anyways, so then I don't know, I got ahead of myself here. I started cutting some of these little pieces of pine. I took this one, I cut it in half, just trying to see where I wanted to lay them because I wanted to make sure it didn't cover the words. And I'm cutting the very ends of them off there too. So I'm just kind of laying it around, playing with it, trying to figure out how I wanted it. So what I should have done first is once I had that, I should have glued the gloves down or the mittens, and I forgot. And I'm like gluing the picks down here, and then I go to put the second or the second mitten, the picks with the second mitten, and then the mitten moved. And I realized, oh my goodness, I didn't even glue these down. So I should have glue those down first, and then I should have done. I'm gonna add a bow with some string to make it look like it's hanging, and I should have done that before I added the greenery as well. So I got a little ahead of myself. So anyway, so here I finally realized that, oh, I forgot to glue these. So I'm gluing my mittens down and just using hot glue. And then I decided to add a few of these little red berries. These came from a pick from Hobby Lobby, I believe. Then I had those ornament snowflakes here, and I'm just cutting the little ring that goes for the string, cutting those off, and then just hot gluing them in place. Don't want to see that string there, so just kind of cut them off. And then after I had those hot glued, I didn't have enough to do 2 on my mittens, so I found these stickers from Dollar Tree, and I'm just gonna place a snowflake sticker on each of those mittens. This is where I made my little bow with some twine. I decided, okay, I'm gonna just have to improvise here, and I just glued the bow down, and then I'm gonna kind of stuff the rest of that twine down behind the greenery to try and make it look like, you know, it's holding the mittens. Yeah, if you recreate this, make sure you do that before you add the greenery. Then I decided I'm going to go ahead and add some greenery to the top of my sign. So I'm just laying it, adding some hot glue on the top of the sign, laying those pine picks on top of the hot glue. Then I took some of this ribbon. This I also got, I think this was last year or the year before. I got it from Walmart. I'm just making a bow, doing the awareness ribbon, scrunching it up in the middle, and then tying some jute string in the middle of it. And then after I trim those string pieces, I'm going to fluff it a little bit. And I think I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm going to hot glue it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hot glue it right to the top of my sign. Then I'm going to dovetail the ends and cut them way down. After I was done doing that, I went ahead with some of that ribbon and hot glued it to the back of my sign so that we have a hanger. And I did end up adding a little snowflake to the middle of my bow there, and there it is. I think it came out super, super cute. You have to let me know what you think about this one in the comment box below. Okay, so here is DIY number 3. So for this DIY, I'm going to use some of these snowflakes. This comes from Dollar Tree. There's 4 on the string there. I'm going to use this sign, and that's also from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use my Waverly Antique Wax and my chalk paint and the color ink. I decided to take one of those different snowflakes that I had from Dollar Tree too. I included one instead of making them all the same, and I painted them with my antique wax, and then I painted the sign with my ink color. After they were all done, I'm taking my Tight Bond Thick and Quick. I always forget if it's quick and thick or thick and quick, but it's quick and thick multi-purpose glue. I'm adding that to the back of my snowflakes, then adding some hot glue for the immediate hold, and then the other glues for the permanent hold, and then just adding those right to the middle of my little signs. Then I took some of this ribbon from Walmart, and I'm going to hot glue them to the back. I had removed the hanger from this sign when I was painting it, and then I thought, you know what, it'd look better if it had ribbon, and I found this ribbon, and I glued it to the back. Now I laid my square ruler here, or whatever they call it, so I made sure that they were like an inch apart, and tried to make sure it was as straight as possible so I could get it all hot glued together. And then once I had one side done, I took another piece of ribbon and I'm going to hot glue the other side. And so here I'm just lining it up, making sure it's only an inch apart, making sure they're as even looking as possible. Then I finished hot gluing the ribbon on there. Then I took another piece of ribbon and I'm just making a hanger. I hot glued it to the top there. Then I took my Snow Tex and I am brushing this on. Those snowflakes, you know, have the holes from the hangers, and I didn't fill them with spackling, so I decided I'm just going to cover them up with my Snow Tex. So I went around all the edges. I think it looks really cute. I took some more of that ribbon and I'm making a bow, doing again the awareness ribbon, scrunching it up in the middle and tying some jute string around it, and then I'm going to also dovetail the ends. And I don't know why I'm showing you all of this, but I am. Oh my goodness, you guys, I am ready to take some days off. I think I'll have to be doing that here right around Christmas, but anyways, it's been a busy month. So once I have this done, I am going to take some more of this. Well, I'm going to hot glue this on the top. And I'm going to take some more of these greenery pieces that come from the candle wreath that I have from Hobby Lobby, and I'm hot gluing them behind my bow, and then I'm going to take a couple more of them and hot glue them on the bottom, and then I'm just going to add some pine cones to the bottom, and we have a very rustic, wintry little snowflake sign, and I love how this came out. I just think it is beautiful. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. And it's super easy, you guys, really easy. Anybody could do this one.